Good morning, Atlantis.
Good morning.
You're ready for another busy day. We have your morning mail coming on the teleprinter, and I have a couple of notes for you when you're ready to copy.
Okay, stand by one.
This is Mission Control Houston as Atlantis tracks over the northwest region of the African continent on orbit 14. We're taking television from the payload bay cameras aboard Atlantis. Atlantis about midway through the daylight pass on this orbit. Orbiting now at 169 nautical miles. Making a circuit around the Earth in 1 hour and 30 minutes and 53 seconds. Atlantis continuing to track southeast now over the northern portion of Sudan. The vague north to south tracing entering the frame, or actually just leaving the frame, is the Nile River. The dramatic change in the color of the terrain below, indicating that Atlantis is tracking across from the arid regions of Sudan into the Ethiopian plateau, where vegetation is much more abundant. We're taking advantage of the payload bay cameras aboard Atlantis to do a little earth gazing of our own as Atlantis crosses over the mouth of the Red Sea and into the Gulf of Aden before streaking out over the Indian Ocean. Atlantis, again, orbiting tail first from northeast to southwest, southwesterly direction being at the bottom left-hand corner of this field of view. Just visible on the left hand of the frame as Atlantis's camera gives us a glimpse of the coast of Oman, the Oman mountains that run parallel to the coast.
This was yesterday, and now you see the IUS at 29. Are y'all getting a line, or do you have just a good clear picture?
It is just beautiful. No lines, and it's very clear.
Okay. And again, I'm going to estimate, we just had the camera mounted up there, that this is maybe 3-4 minutes to the deploy. It's always a real team effort during this deploy, Jan. You know, not only the people on the ground, but there's 5 people in the cockpit working on different things to get this deploy off.
Roger that. Looks like a beautiful deploy, guys.
Looks even better from our point of view.
And this is the photography that Jim took after the deploy, after. And Jan, I want everybody to really start looking here pretty close. During the deploy sequence right afterwards, look at that big piece of stuff that came out of the back of the vehicle. We got that on camcorder. Jim did a good job of that. Y'all may look at that. That came off the back of the vehicle, that snake.
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, we don't know what it is, but you can look at it there. We're really glad that Peters is up there in orbit where it belongs, Jan.
Yeah, we are too, John. Good work on your part for the whole crew.
This is Shannon. Air to the display. As you can see, she was surprised when I had the camera on her. And Jim, he was always drinking and eating yesterday and still is today.
Yeah, you know how those maggots are.
I know that. His bake, this was while they were calling up the burn pads and the debris pad, and he's calling them back down right now. He's really a space veteran. You'd think he'd been on, this is his 3rd or 4th mission, the way he's been working. David's just getting some camera equipment out here back up there to bring back up to the flight deck. good shot of bakes. And there's the burn. So we're doing the SEP burn now.
Okay, this is just setting them up, and we had a little bit of trouble getting it out of the locker, but John helped me, and we just did it real gently, and we finally got it out.
As you can see, Bakes is really documenting oceanography and geography there for the Earth Odyssey. Doing a good job. Jan, and this is just an outside scene that I took for a second. The Earth limb and a storm. And we're live going over Hurricane Fifi right now, and everybody's scrambling to the windows to look at it. As you see our downlink. If I remember, Jan, I think this is Eastern Africa. Here's Shannon again.
This is when we were having trouble. You can see we were really working hard, and I don't know, I can't see too much what we're doing. This is with the sample that just wouldn't go at all. The little gray septum is just cocked in there, and no matter how hard you pushed, you just couldn't get any fluid transfer. And John also tried, couldn't get it.
So that's sample 2?
Right, I believe that's sample 2. This one didn't leak, this one just flat wouldn't move. So the fluid just wouldn't move from the one side to the other.
Is that 3 we see there?
Yeah, this is John's taking pictures now of the activation of BM. And that all worked just real fine.
Shannon, just another quick question on sample 3. Was it leaking at the septum end, and was it cracked before or after you started activation?
Jan, she'll answer that in a second. Let me just tell you right, this is David getting the max spark out. And then he is going to take it on up to the flight deck. As you can see, I was just running around with the camcorder trying to get a little bit of what everybody was doing this morning. People were pretty busy from the time we got up. And they're still busy right now. I'll let Shannon answer that question in a minute unless it's essential right now.
Okay.
Jen, you can tell the Max Front folks that I've got it the next Mach up now, and it's initialized, and Shannon's going to do her first data take on that probably as soon as we stop this downlink here.
Okay, thanks.
Everybody was really doing a great job, and as I was watching them do it all, I just thought to myself, I guess if you could stay up here for a much longer time on a space station or something, of course, you could do this work around the clock and get a lot more of it done. Each time we fly the space shuttle and do this, we just get a small little window at it. And this is Jim in the middle of the SSBUV, working with baits. David in the background, Max Talk, Jim with SSBUV.
Okay, Jan, we're coming up on our time to open the door at MET 1 day, 1 hour, 12 minutes, 32 seconds. I'm going to send the command to open the door, and you can all watch the lid come open.
Okay, we're watching.
I keep waiting to see one of those Muppet characters. There's the Grouch or something that lives in the gas can.
Yeah.
Sorry, the light isn't the greatest, but as you know, we're in the dark, waiting for sunrise here to do our Earth view, and so this is done with payload day lighting, and you can see it's pretty dark out there.
This is Mission Control. We are currently taking live television from the orbiter Atlantis. As it passes northwest of Australia. This is the Earth lens.
And Marcia, the older guys on board want you to know that we can read it just as well. We just have to hold it further away.
Okay, well, y'all, which is the smallest line you can read?
Okay, Marcia, I've got that right here. The smallest line that I can read right now is the line underneath the word elite. There's actually two groups of letters and characters there, and I can read the group on the left that has the full alphabet plus some numbers down, and then it says Spartan Medium 6 point. The one on the right, I can almost make out, but it's a little bit blurry.
Okay, David, thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston. Atlantis currently passing over the Baja California area on orbit 19. A lot of interest in that particular area. That's where the area that Hurricane FIFA formed in, south of Baja California. That hurricane still active at this point. It reached hurricane strength before launch yesterday. Currently, it's located between Baja California and Hawaii. The hurricane is moving in a westerly direction, and recorded winds are at 75 knots with gusts up to 90. However, predictions are for those winds to die down by August the 6th. Atlanta's currently flying, has just flown over the Yucatan Peninsula. The view now is of coral reefs just off the coastline of the country of Belize.
Okay, they don't feel that you have a problem there. They feel that if the tape is moving and the blood pressure cuff appears to be operating normally and giving you a normal reading, that everything's working fine. For the low K sounds, if you want to, you could adjust the microphone to get a better sound, but they don't feel that's a problem.
Okay, Marcia, you can just let them know that I moved the microphone around about 5 or 6 times and never got it good until I kind of redid all the connections, and now it seems to be working normally. The only thing I was worried about was that clock on the recorder, and that sounds like that's okay, too.
Yep, that's okay, too. Thanks a lot.
You can tell John, Charles, and Michelle that we're all very happy to be wearing their blood pressure cuffs.
I'll be sure to pass that on.
Sound like television from Atlantis' Payload Bay. This view of the SSBUV, or the Shuttle Solar Backscatter Ultraviolet Instrument canister. Actually, that experiment is in a getaway special or gas canister in Atlantis' Payload Bay. This is Mission Control Houston. Atlanta's currently taking this view of Hurricane FIFA, that's F-E-F-A. That hurricane is located at this time between Baja California and the Hawaiian Islands. It reached hurricane strength before the mission began with the launch yesterday. Atlanta's currently is flying and taking this view of the hurricane's eye. The hurricane formed south of Baja and appears to be moving in a westerly direction. Recorded winds at last count were 75 knots with gusts up to 90 knots. Those winds are expected to decrease over the next couple of days.
Houston, Atlantis.
Go ahead.
I just thought I'd talk to you while I was on the treadmill, Marcia. Just in case you've never had that done to you before from space.
Gee, John, I haven't. If we could have a picture of you, it'd be even better.
You've seen old G. David doing it, so I know that you know what it is.
Are you going to run around the world?
That's what I'm doing, but I'm doing it sideways.
And how many continents are you going to run across?
Probably 2 continents. I'll do it upside down and sideways.
All right, what a man.
This is Mission Control. We are receiving a camcorder downlink that the crew took a few minutes ago as Atlantis passed over the Hurricane Fifa.
Atlantis, Houston, if you have some time, we'd like you to start the modem activities now. We think that we'll probably lose the S-band coverage at the time it was scheduled, and if we can start it earlier, we can get it done during good coverage.
This camcorder downlink was recorded just a few minutes ago as Atlantis passed over the Pacific Ocean, where Hurricane Fifa has been located for the last few days. These views elicited oohs and ahs from the flight control room. The eye of the Hurricane Fifa, what we're looking at right now, is measured at about 20 miles across. It's actually a fairly narrow eye, and apparently the storm has decreased in its intensity over the last couple of days, and predictions are that its winds will continue to decrease over the next few days. That hurricane is located between Baja California and Hawaii, and at last report, winds were at 75 knots with gusts at 90 knots. This is Mission Control. This view is recorded by a camcorder on board Atlantis.
Atlantis, Houston, getting a mid-deck picture from you.
Again, those bright lights are visible, are believed to be city lights as Atlantis goes across the northern portion of the country of Argentina, the southern portion of Paraguay, and on into Brazil.
High above the